These 5 moments permanently changed anime forever. So starting with number 1, we have Woody roasting Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, for those of you that haven't played Kingdom Hearts, it's essentially an RPG that mixes Disney worlds with these ridiculously over-the-top style anime moments. Kind of like how Super Smash Bros. Takes all of those adorable Nintendo characters that we know and love and throws them into a brawl against each other. Kingdom Hearts does a similar kind of thing with Disney. Now, when you get to the Toy Story section of the game, everything about Woody's character is set up to make you think he's just support. You know, his dialogue is really tame. Nothing about him makes you think he's about to absolutely verbally destroy someone. So near the end of the Toy Story section, Sora and Woody are trying to save Buzz from the evil Xehanort. And Xehanort starts laying into them. He's like, "You're toys. You're weak. You're not gonna stop me." And then, out of absolutely nowhere, Woody just steps the fuck up. He literally pushes Sora aside, just interrupts this motherfucker, basically says, "I don't care about anything you're saying." And then he follows it up with, "I bet no one has ever loved you." Holy shit, like, nobody expected that from Woody. I mean, we expected Woody to say something like, "Hey, pal, you're in the wrong rootin' tootin' area of the West," but definitely not what he said. And that's exactly why I made it on this list. Scoring high, specifically in the subcategory of top insane anime roasts of all time. Coming in at number 2, we have Megamind's supervillain presentation. Now, I know this one is pretty obvious. Everyone expected it to be on the list, but it's just one of those crazy moments we have to talk about. Specifically, this one made it on the list for me by falling under the subcategory of top intelligence flexes in anime. One thing you see all the time in anime is the constant battle of, "You fell right into my trap. No, you fell right into my trap. No, you didn't expect this. No, I've had this plan since season 1." You know, it's just constant plot twist stacked on top of plot twist. But this scene just hits different. Like, it hits harder than Light Yagami getting his memories back in Death Note. The way Megamind completely makes a fool out of Hal, he's so unbelievably confident that it actually makes the audience believe like he's got this whole thing won. And that's what makes the scene hit different. Normally when you're watching anime, you're always expecting another twist, like I was saying, another plan, another secret. But here, the presentation sells it. The music, the giant hologram head, the utter confidence. Everything about it convinces you, this guy already knows exactly how this is going to end. He just absolutely nailed the presentation. Coming in at number 3, we have Squidward serving justice to the pizza customer from SpongeBob. Now, this is another one that's pretty obvious that it was going to make the list. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it's just one that has to be talked about. For those of you that haven't seen this episode, SpongeBob and Squidward get sent to deliver a pizza by Mr. Krabs. After what turns into an absolutely ridiculous journey, they finally make it back to the customer's house. SpongeBob goes to hand him the pizza, and the customer is so rude to SpongeBob that it just breaks his emotional stability limit, and he just starts sobbing and losing control. But then that's where Squidward steps in. This scene made my list because I think it falls under the category of an anime's portrayal of the idea that there's good in all of us, no matter how cold or miserable someone might seem. I think part of the reason this scene hits so hard, especially when it first came out, is because everything SpongeBob had taught us about Squidward up until that point. Back then, Squidward wasn't the secretly lovable character that everybody recognizes today. He was just the grumpy neighbor. He was just the guy who hated everything. The guy who wanted everybody to leave him alone. Episode after episode reinforced that idea. Even this episode spends almost the entire runtime convincing us that Squidward only cares about himself. He's constantly putting his own comfort ahead of everybody else's. So by the time they finally reach the customer's house, you've been conditioned to expect Squidward to do absolutely nothing. And then out of nowhere, something just snaps inside of him. Now, Squidward could have walked back up to the door and simply said, like, hey man, that was rude. You know, that alone would have been surprising. Instead, he goes full primal rage. He grabs the pizza, runs back to the door, and slams it in the customer's face, and delivers the legendary line, "This one's on the house!" Oh wait, that was kind of Squilliam, but oh well. That moment completely changed the way that I looked at Squidward. It wasn't just funny, it showed that underneath all the complaining, he actually has a real sense of justice. And that's exactly why I think the scene deserves to be remembered. Quick question before number 4. How's everybody doing today? Let me know in the comments if you're having a good day, bad day, in-between day. Whatever you're feeling, just let me know. Coming in at number 4, we have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch betrayal scene from the Must Cinnadust commercial. This one absolutely had to make the list because, dude, this commercial shocked my nervous system. You know, as anime fans, we're used to crazy stuff happening. Even outside anime, commercials push the line every now and then. You know, a little edgy humor, a joke for adults, maybe something a kid doesn't catch. But, you know, this was different. So for those of you who haven't seen it, General Mills animated little pieces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch as if they were actual people. And in one of their commercials, they have these 2 Cinnamon Toast Crunch people, and one of them starts eating the other Cinnamon Toast Crunch person. Even that by itself, you're like, you know, all right, they're pushing it. But, you know, I guess I can get away with it. That kind of thing's been done before. But dude, there are a couple of moments that push this scene onto the list. So right from the beginning, the way that they animate one of these Cinnamon Toast Crunch guys just stalking the other one, you know, you're already thinking like, okay, like I know where this is going, but then they absolutely animate just pure terror. The victim is screaming. The other, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch piece that stalked him has this completely sadistic look on his face. And then he slowly starts pouring milk over the Cinnamon Toast Crunch piece. It gives off this like unbelievably disturbing Jeffrey Dahmer type of vibe. It actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they were going for. And somehow they got that approved for a cereal commercial. But then they somehow go even further. At the end, General Mills had the absolute balls to end the at the end, General Mills had the absolute balls to end the commercial with basically having the little Jeffrey Dahmer piece guy going, "I know what I've become, and I don't care." Like that's pretty insane for a cereal commercial. I mean, for cereal that's eaten by primarily kids. Absolutely insane. And lastly, coming in at number 5, we have the M&M Surprise Santa Claus Christmas commercial. This one made the list because I think it absolutely nails the subcategory of an anime's ability to capture the feeling of a holiday. I don't care how old you are. I don't care where you're from. When you watch this commercial, it instantly makes you feel like a kid on Christmas Eve again. It captures that feeling of being cozy, content, and just unbelievably excited for Christmas morning. They absolutely nailed that feeling. That's why I think it deserves to be remembered. Now, there's another reason this commercial has always stuck with me, and I think this one's probably just personal, but whenever Santa passes out at the end, for whatever reason, that scene absolutely shocked me as a kid. I was a really skittish kid, in which, speaking of that, I'm going to make some other videos on stories from when I was a kid about things that scared me that probably weren't meant to scare me. But anyways, for some reason, seeing Santa Claus pass out just concerned the absolute fuck out of me. It hardwired this weird concern for Santa into my brain to this day. Every time I see that commercial, I still remember exactly how I felt. So those are just 5 of the craziest moments in anime history. Let me know in the comments down below some of your favorite anime moments. I'd love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.